Hi guys, it's me again. I'm going to make another build, show you guys another build that will help out in the long run. Basically, it's going to be the same other people. You're just going to add one more guy, the monk. You're going to need him for your strength drain and your ensnares. So his stats aren't that high. I just mostly wanted this so my ores will last longer, and this so their effectiveness would be better. I haven't really put all that much into them. I haven't really spec'd them out. Now, another thing you guys can do, if you're going to be fighting a boss, is you want to, like, probably 4 people at most. It'd make the easiest. Me and my friend did it with 2 people. I'm sorry. It was me and him. We got lucky and was able to kill her. But that was before the new one, patch. So I'm going to show you guys a total different build that I didn't use, but I know it works because I made it to wave 21 on survival. Now, if you guys have 2 monks and if you want a DPS monk, definitely go ranged monk. Here, I'll show you guys. Here, I'll respect this guy and everything else, and show you guys kind of the damage it can do. Actually, I'll just tell you. Like, this weapon's pretty spec'd out. And this is without hero stats or anything in DPS. And with this, it does even more. So in about Nightmare, your DPS is cut pretty significantly. So you're gonna do about, I don't know, 30 with your 30 to 14, I think. I can't remember exactly. It's been a while. Damage with your auto with those attacks, which isn't bad for Nightmare. Anything above 1,000 is decent for Nightmare. Alright. And another thing, if you got a DPS pet, especially a Daijin, it's amazing to have a ranged monk, because you can just turn your aura on, which will buff him, so it makes him do more damage. And Nightmare, when I was running this guy as a DPS monk, because I had to respec him for my tower, with my aura running, my Daijin did like 83 damage to pretty much everything. So with the combination of damage you guys, like you and the Daijin, can do, and plus if you don't have a Daijin and you're just with other people, you can run a monk with a genie, so you can keep your aura going, and you guys can just you can buff them and kind of tear through some people. So let's move these pets back around. So it's gonna start out kind of similar to my last one. If you don't know my stats, they're in the last one, but I'll quickly show you guys again. I've actually got more tower damage but less tower health, and I'm okay with that. If I needed tower health, I have a set for that, but I don't really need it with this build. I may have to repair them every now and then, but they're not going to take uber's amounts of damage on the harpoons themselves. So that's my stats on this character. Still want to get that to 1,000. I usually use my apprentice after I get everything upgraded. That's when my damage is going to be 2,000. So 2,000 is a good spot to be. And if you can, get this to 1,000, and this is as high as you can. But you might mainly want to prioritize this, then second prioritize that. Okay. Now my wall. This is my wall builder. It's just straight up tower health. I haven't really changed any. You still got 2,000. I want some more wall health because I lost at the end of wave 21 due to the fact that the ogres do way too much damage, and their move speed and attack speed are fast enough that when they're in the snare, they both basically move normal rate, which is kind of annoying. But you want to put the walls like this. You can try to angle like kind of tilt these walls inwards a little bit, kind of like that, so the ogres will kind of just slide on it just a little bit. And it'll make it a little harder for them to beat on your towers that are going to be behind your walls. Now for this one, I want to kind of pull it out a little bit. There we go. Again, just kind of tilt it a little bit so they kind of slide around. But I don't know. Should we really? I don't think I'm going to tilt this one. I think I'll just leave this one like that. It's a 5DU wall straight across. Alright, for this one, I kind of want some space back here, so I'm going to pull it, put it pretty close to that, and then I'm going to make it a 3DU wall. So right at the edge of this, so at that little notch before you get to the little post there. Now I need to put up, that's all the walls, okay? So that's it for this guy. You don't need this guy anymore. So really all he's for is the walls. I'm gonna get your harpoons down, because this is the second most important thing, because everything else is kind of connected to the walls and harpoons placements. So it needs me to pick up a couple more mana. I did change the colors on my character. I got a little tired of just seeing black, so I went with kind of a purple, and the tail's actually supposed to be a little crimson, but it ended up being purple too. It's kind of got a little bit of pink in it. And I got some gauntlet, like bracers, feather, and a shield for accessories, which just suck, but they were the best ones I had. Now let's pick up a little more mana. Now they don't give me a real stat boost. I just like the way they looked and put them on, because they didn't give me any negatives, but they didn't really give me much. I think they gave me like 1 in a couple things, maybe 2 points, so not much. This is also really good for farming accessories. I've found a lot. When I'm done with the build, I'll go back to my thing and show you a couple of all the accessories I found just from doing this, so you guys can can't talk. You guys can get kind of an idea of the accessories you can find by doing this. I'm missing a box, and I knew it was. It's this box right here behind the crystal, and this box right over here. Usually just gets me every time. Alright, so put your harpoons basically in the same spot as the last build, if you saw that one. Actually, for this one, if you're going to be fighting the boss, you want to kind of tilt them like this, so they can still shoot at the boss if she's when she spawns right there. So you gotta tilt them kind of like this. It may make you have to watch this wall, but if you got 4 people and you guys got some pretty good DPS, then your better bet will just be pointing them like this, because she will not always be right there, and the Sharkmen are more important to kill. I think another character that's really good to fight against the boss with is a barbarian. A barbarian with a genie. You don't need a Dajin for the barbarian, you just need a genie. You can just sit there and keep your turtle stance and siphon strike on, or just turtle stance, and just kind of tanker and do a bunch of damage at the same time. If you don't use siphon strikes, you can use hawk shot, like a hawk stance. Now it's always this one right here that gets me. So turret placement. Putting them down here is better, because then you can run a buff beam through the wall into these, and you'll have less of a chance of Daijins coming over here and despawning these. Now, I've tried several placements for this side, for the turrets, but I found the best is going to be one here, and try to squeeze this one as close in as you can. So they have really good line of sight and hitting the ogres. Then you want to kind of scoot this one in so the spiders can't web it on the stairs easily. and you want to point it that direction for your wyverns. Like I said, this build works for both survival and campaign, trying to do it with some people. You can also farm campaign if you can't beat it. You can just keep doing it, get the last wave, and keep trying to beat the boss if you really want to, or you can just quit as soon as the boss shows up. It's your choice. I used to do that before I beat the campaign mode. I was really happy when we did. Like when I said we got lucky, she knocked these turrets right over here, all the way over here to where these were, and then these were sitting here in the middle, and then she knocked them into the side, and then she got stuck somehow with this crystal and all the turrets. And then my friend stood over here repairing everything, and then I was behind her repairing all the walls and everything, all these those two walls and the wall back there, making sure they didn't go down. Which I would advise if you guys have 4 people, 3 fighting the boss, 2 DPS in it, 1 tanking it, and then 1 person kind of just running around making sure everything stays up. And so let's go ahead and put the traps down. Same trap placement besides one wall. One wall will be different. So let's go ahead and put the traps down here. Now, I don't like it when things get stuck right here. I don't mind when they get stuck right here, because the turrets can still hit them. But if they get stuck right here, they tend to be the closest one, and the turrets like to prioritize anything that's closest, unless a Daijin is desummoning or a Sharkman is charging now. They will prioritize those over anything else. So I like to put it kind of back here some so they don't get stuck anymore. Those get stuck on this bridge. Or you can kind of bring it out this way a little bit. Just kind of catch them right at the edge of the bridge. Then you'll just have to keep an eye on it. It's your choice. They both work. If you're worried about the Sharkman, then do the second placement. If you're not completely worried about it and you're more confident in your spec, then go ahead. Now this one you can do anything with pretty much, because they got a really good line of sight. So I just like putting them here on the wall, so when the ogres are standing on them, the ogres will proc it, which will pretty much go off every time it's up, which will keep more mobs over here and off your wall, and more Sharkmen over here, and so the turrets can pick them off as soon as they get a chance to. And that's all the ones for the wall. I feel like I'm missing something, because I should have more mana than this. Did I miss a mushroom guy? I should have enough to put... talk to you. I feel like I missed something, guys. I feel like I did. Yep, here we go. I knew I missed one. I've done this enough times to know I had enough mana to get most of the stuff down. More than what I was going to be able to. Alright, so put your proximity mines down on your walls, or your turrets, to help them out with spiders. Now, not many spiders, like, you want to kind of put it right here, so they will overlap once you put the buff beams down, and they will both explode and deal massive amounts of damage to the spiders that try to come down this way from the crystal, and it'll just help out with protecting your towers. Now with this one, they spawn right up here, so you could be like, oh, I'm gonna put it right here, but no, sometimes they won't. The traps won't activate when spiders step on them, so it's more effective if you put it right down here to where they're aggro to this turret, so they won't move as much, and then they'll stay on the proximity and take full damage from it. Alright, so that's all your turrets for this, or all your traps for this time. So you want to come over here now and you want to kind of run a buff beam through this wall, trying to make sure you get both these. Check them, make sure. You don't. It'd be the worst thing ever if you didn't. You put a buff beam down, but it wasn't buffing everything. Again, check, make sure. If you see the little red sparks coming off of it, then they're being buffed. Put it right behind that one, then put it on the right on that handle. It's buffing both. Now this one is another reason I like putting it in there. Put it right on this handle, and then try to pull it. That's not gonna buff that one, is it? Okay, it's buffing that one. Again, just check to make sure. I pulled it over here, so it's easier to upgrade. That's all your buff beams are down now. So you no longer need this character. I actually need it for one more thing, but I just don't have the mana. So go ahead and start your wave. And get your mana. They never give you enough mana to do the whole build. I did put it on survival so I didn't have a time limit, so I could show you guys the full build. Because it's really hard to... Actually, I think it's impossible unless you're really, really fast at this game to put in all the stuff I put in one wave. You might be able to survive the first wave, first two waves pretty easily, and there should be enough time to get you all the build points. And I know you won't be able to get the buff beams in. You could probably just jump on your hunters after putting your turrets down real quick and put the traps down during the wave. Alright. Just trying to buff this buff beam here. Alright. So yeah, you're nowhere near done. I'm just buffing these because I have the mana. Oops. Just upgrade the buff beams to level 3, like usual. Because that gives your turrets really good amounts of damage, and if they're sitting on proximity mine, it'll help out with the early spiders. Upgrade those traps so I don't have to bother repairing them. Alright. So let's go ahead and jump back onto our... We'll jump onto our monk now to make sure we get these guys in. I'll upgrade that so I don't have to repair it. Alright, so you're going to want to delete the darkness trap over here after the first wave. For the reason is because you're going to put a strength drain, and you're going to try to wedge it to where the gas trap is poking out of it a little bit, or you can put it right on the gas trap, just so the Daigens can't despawn your strength drain really easily. You can try different ways. Now you're going to want to put a ensnare as well, right here, because this is a problem wall in later waves, because you have to run all the way back here, and then you have to get over here and repair it without being jumped on by a ninja or smacked by an ogre. That's usually what my problem was. And so that ensnare and strength drain will help that live. Now on the rest of the walls you're going to put a ensnare. You can put it like this, however you want to. But I'm going to pull it back some because there's a buff beam. It may be a little different for you guys. That's a lightning aura, isn't it? Maybe a little different for you guys if your aura sizes aren't as big as mine, or if bigger, you might want to shrink it. You just want to make sure that it doesn't poke out too far from your gas trap, because you don't want Daigens despawning it. Alright, so the radius size of the trap should be enough for that. Now you can go ahead and do this. Now I'm not sure how much success this build actually has. I've only done it once, or I've actually done it twice. I've only done it twice, so monsters move differently. They don't really have a set move pattern, so they might go into different spots or something. You just have to keep trying. If this one doesn't work, you can always try the other one. That one's pretty good too. Or if you have a problem with Daigens despawning this strength drain ore back here, you can just take that out and leave the ensnare. and put your darkness trap back. That's also valid too. That's what I first started out with. Made it to wave 20 as well. Alright, I'm trying to remember. I think that's everything. Alright, so we only have 5 DU left, which is all we need to put in the last bit of defenses. Now this one isn't really too mandatory, but since we don't have a proximity mine sitting right here, due to we have a gas ensnare instead, mobs will get right here and get stuck, and then these harpoons over here will try to shoot them instead of shooting over there. So what you want to do, or there'll be sharkmen right here, and then the gas trap will wear off, and then they'll charge the wall and push it that way. So what you want to do to remedy that is put one of these guys down. You got 5 DU, might as well use all of it. So you can kind of see if I can't start right here and kind of bring it this way a little bit. Try not to put it too far away from the gas. Just want to make sure it's a wall, isn't it? Okay. Same thing. There you go. Got your little lightning beam. Or you can just put it straight like I did. From this fence post, or this rock, straight across that little root thing. Now this will do damage to everything that passes through it, and it'll also stun them for, get them caught in it for a second, along with the gas trap. They'll just sit in it and take damage and everything. So it's really good to put there. And that will be it. That is the build, guys. Here, I'll give you a little look at it on the map. Get out the way. Try to get somewhere. You guys can see everything. There you go. You got an ensnare ore on each wall. You got gas traps and darkness trap on each wall besides this one over here. You're substituting a strength drain for the gas trap, or the darkness trap, because it does the same thing. It gets rid of elemental resistances, and also does the original strength drain part. And so now they do less damage and they attack much slower, so that's going to cut their DPS down a lot, especially in the early waves, so you don't have to worry about that as much. Here, I'll show you guys strength drain. See, there you go. Enemies within the ore have reduced damage, and they lose their... Wait, did they change it? No, they didn't. They lose their element. So this will help. With that, and it'll keep that wall alive longer, so you have more of a chance, and you don't have to feel so rushed to repair that wall. And you can sit back here and repair these auras and upgrade them, which help out too. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this build helps you guys defeat the Spider Queen and everything else. Now, if you're a little worried about these getting knocked around, you can move them maybe back a little bit to over here if you got enough range, so the Spider Queen won't be sitting on them as soon as she spawns. But it should be okay, especially if you can kill the Queen fast enough. And when she's here, you guys want to kind of keep her here, because she'll be standing on these proximity mines, or in the radius of the proximity mine, taking damage from those as well, which will just help out. Alright, thank you guys. I'll try to help out anyone that needs help defeating the Queen. I'll go on there and do the build, or go on there with a DPS of mine and help you guys out if I can. Just comment me, send me a message or something, and I will get back to you if I can. It all depends on what I'm doing and if my girlfriend's alright. So thank you guys. Once again, I hope this helps. If it doesn't, just tell me and I'll see if I can't come up with another one. Alright?